Thanks, Tim. Great to see you all today. And the 109th conference, the final stretch towards the end. And it's always a pleasure coming here and hearing about the latest innovations, the latest exciting, what's happening in the market. Great talk today about automation and fantastic to see everyone here today. I know we're on time, so I'm not going to do too much of that. But yes, absolutely pleasure. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name's Emile. I'm one of the senior consultants at SBR Consulting. We've been working with the SPA for over a decade now in optimizing revenue growth and acceleration. And what I'm hearing essentially in what's happening in the market is, of course, over the last 24 months or so, the pricing of paper and box has been decreasing a little bit and recently starting to pick up. So that poses the question of, well, what do we do now about pricing without increasing margins too much or without losing face in positioning that in the wrong way? So there's one area there about strategy, around pricing strategies, and those of you who do come here regularly would have heard me talk about never give, always trade. So preparing some variables, understanding what the constants and coverts are so that we are getting the maximum value. Secondly, around strategies, is you may have some customers who you have been regularly interacting with, or perhaps there's been some who have been sitting idle for a while and you're not sure exactly how to interact or engage without reducing the risk of coming across as pushy or without having some real kind of intelligent conversation to spark interest and engage in dialogue. So really, the masterclass is going to be about strategy and proactivity, and some of you who have been on the recent masterclasses may have found the sales continuum fairly relevant here, where we move from a reactive mindset more towards proactivity. May have heard the quote, "Hope is not a strategy," and this is at the far end of the reactive side. So, this is where I've heard some recent directors who are saying, well, what's your strategy for growth next year? And they say, well, we're focusing on exceptional delivery and hoping that people will come back to us and retain and renew. And of course, this isn't too much of a proactive strategy. If we rely on hope, our competitors might be doing more. So what can we do? Of course, we can move into the next stage, which is here. Simply put, what can we hear while we're on site? What can we hear on social platforms using Facebook, using LinkedIn? What is the market saying? What are they saying so we can initiate dialogue more effectively? To move into asking. I'm sure you're all asking great questions, but what are some of those questions that we are consciously asking that are starting to uncover more opportunity, where we move to that hidden mythical beast, the trusted advisor, into that influence stage, where we're starting to use market insights. We're starting to use relevant economy and environmental and political factors that really engage conversation. So one part of that is understanding, crafting the right outreach to the right people. And then the next part, I'm just going to invite you all for a tiny bit of interaction. Okay, so brace yourselves. This is not going to be a lot. I'm just going to ask you for one word. Okay? So is that okay? Yes. Good. Okay, thank you. I'm going to... So, okay, so in a moment. So I'm going to put up an image on the screen, and I'll invite you to think or view the image and then interpret what you see. If you see something, shout out what you see. And if you don't see anything, then just say, I don't see anything. That's okay. That's a little bit, just say nothing, because that's the one word, as agreed. So we'll start with this side of the room, if that's okay. What do you see on the screen? Cow. Anyone else? An elephant? Anyone else? On this side? An Inca platter? Yeah? You see the Inca platter as well? Yes. Anything down the back? Too far. Yeah? Those of you who can't see the cow, what if I did this? And now if I go back, those of you who didn't see the cow, what do you see now? Sorry, there's a few more words in promise. But effectively, why are we looking at a picture of a cow or an ink platter or an elephant or a duck or whatever those were? It is one of the biggest wasters of time is people chasing people who are not going to be right for them. So how do we gain clarity? And I've been working with some of you within the SPA and a number of businesses on defining who that ideal customer profile is by understanding exactly who's right for us. So we're qualifying the right people. And those of you familiar, once again, a reminder, we love our yeses, we like our nos, it's the maybes that kill us. So once we've done that, of course, people start to break down what the ideal customer profile is. And then a common mistake is looking at demographics. So, do we know who this person is? Who said yep? Ta-da. Right. But what if I said, if this is demographics alone, it's also this guy? Ozzy Osbourne. So we can start to look at a little bit more of just demographics, but also the psychographic components to ensure we're focusing on the right people, crafting the right messages, and of course, looking at strategic pricing for that pricing strategies. So looking forward to seeing many of you on the Masterclass. Ideally, all of you, and tell everyone, because we're going to be launching this on the 2nd of July at 10 a.m. It is now live, so you can click that, go to the SPA website, and please do sign up for that. Really excited to see everyone there. So other than that, thanks. Always great to be here, and I'll see you at the bar and for dinner.